Steady D. If it ain't going down at the Bunny Ranch, it ain't going down at all.
It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down, going down, going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch.
I didn't want to. Oh, and then I got, my client that sends all the candy liqueur.
Oh, yeah.
Bob.
So you're meaning I need to come over there and get some candy?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's still
Wow.
there's still some candies left in the boxes. I mean, there's still cognac.
Is it the tequila one?
No, everybody ate
Damn
it
it.
first.
Those bastards.
I know that the tequila one was the first one that
Usually is.
That
Over here was the same one, too. The tequila one always went first.
Yeah.
Every time you brought it, so.
Tequila went fast over
Yep.
there too. That's the first one to go. The tequila and the bourbon, those were the first one. Tequila, bourbon, and then the last is the cognac. Everything else, the champagne went.
I didn't think I have the champagne one yet.
Oh, that's gone now.
I've never tried that one because I don't think it was in the other ones before.
Yes, it
I don't
was.
remember champagne listed.
Gold color. It was like,
Oh,
yeah, that's a gold truffle color.
well.
And then there's a lot more cognacs there. And then there's some others in the other box, but that one doesn't have a strong liqueur like the one in the green box.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the BunnyRanch podcast. I'm James, and today we have one of the great legends here. So, coming back from Kit Kat Ranch is Cumisha Amado. So, you might know her from season 1. She's been here. She's filmed with us. She's been on live stream when we did those. But Cumisha, welcome onto the show.
Oh,
Well,
thank you.
Since you just introduced your chocolate right when I started,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it works great.
Oh my God. We were discussing a box of chocolate liqueur candy, and James was asking me, is the tequila gone? That's the first thing that went was
Yep.
tequila. Tequila is always the first one, and then there's bourbon, and then the last one was cognac. So there's still some left if you want to come over.
Might have to
Yeah.
scurry over there for a little bit.
But the liqueur on that one isn't as strong as the one in the green box.
Yeah. Well, Cumisha, kind of give our audience, who you are. Like, because, you've done a ton of things so far.
So, before I did all of this, I was a registered nurse, a labor and delivery room nurse over at Altabase Hospital. Oh, am I supposed to say that?
Yeah, whatever you want.
So I delivered a lot of babies, and my mom was a doctor. I had 2 scholarships for Juilliard for classical piano, so I'll play some tunes for you, not just classical, but all kinds, pop, jazz. Also, I'll cook. So I cook like my famous homemade lumpias, which are ground beef, russet potatoes, and mixed veggies. And I cook them. It's not deep fried. It's just, just enough to cover them. And then it cooks about 10 minutes until they're like golden color. But they're yummy. And I have 2 different sauces. I have sweet banana sauce, and then I have spicy banana sauce.
So you were telling me before we started that if we Google Cumisha's, is it Cumisha's Lumpias or is it?
Or yeah, you can do Cumisha's homemade lumpias. The first thing that comes up on Google is Kit Kat Ranch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Kit Kat Ranch. Because when Dennis was here, rest in peace, Dennis, we did a video about my lumpias, and okay, you have the banana or was it? She has the sauce and you have the banana, something like that. It's on YouTube.
Huh.
Yeah. So
that's kind of cool.
You can check it out. And also, I have a YouTube video on me making my lumpias and this cute, like peachy colored lingerie. You might want to check that out too. Teaching you how to roll lumpias and what's inside of them, which is great. It has your protein, it has your your good carbs, and everything is there. And you can eat it on the go. It's finger food. And I would make it for our tea parties. Our tea parties are like little meetings stuff.
Yeah, that's I completely love that one. And then you do your chicken adobo.
My chicken adobo.
That one's
is
really good.
chicken that has garlic. I mince up some garlic, ginger, and onions, and then I put like ponzu sauce, Shaoxing rice wine, seasoned rice wine, and a little bit of each one of the little, liquid spices. Cook it for 45 minutes. All the adobo sauce goes over the mung bean noodles, which are clear noodles. You have to soak them first, and then all the flavors are having a party in there together. And so then you put in the snow peas, all the stir-fried vegetables, and snow peas, the carrots, the cabbage, the bok choy, all in there, along with I shredded chicken, and mix them all together. It tastes yummy.
It really is.
You'll have to come and book a party with me, and I'll cook it for you if I know ahead of time. We can have like a cook-off in our bungalow there. It has a kitchen, so it's very private. So, you want to know more about it, you can email me,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that's going to be on the bottom.
It'll be somewhere here, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also do this fruit salad one, right? What is that one? I always forget the name of that, and that's the one I always want to. I never can remember the name. What is that name?
It's called Halo Halo, which
Halo
is
Halo.
a tropical fruit salad. It has coconut milk. It has 2 cans of coconut milk, 2 cans of evaporated milk. It has shredded coconut, baby coconut. It has jackfruit. It has mango. It has rambutan. That's another tropical fruit. It's like a guava banana combination. And there's some other ones ubi, which is like a purple kind of fruit. It looks kind of weird, but it's really tasty. And then all the other, there's some other ones. And you can even put in a can of fruit cocktail too, but I'd like to keep just the tropical fruits in there, the tropical blend. Oh, and then I also make sticky rice with baby coconut, and that's also with coconut milk and brown sugar and Yeah, I made it one time. Did you have some of that?
I don't think I had the sticky rice one.
I'm going to have to make some of that too, because that's cooked with sweet rice. Cook the sweet rice first. Then after you cook that, then you add the coconut milk and the evaporated milk, 2 cans of each, 50-50, and then also put in some brown, sugar in there. Then put it in the oven at 350 for about 2 hours. 2 hours. Then at the very end, you sprinkle the brown sugar on there, and it makes like a glaze, and it tastes so yummy. Then you serve it also with sliced mangoes.
I'm getting hungry. The Halo one, it's Halo Halo, right?
And then you also put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on the top. Of the
Halo Halo.
But you can do that on the sticky rice too, but I don't think you want to.
That'd be a little different.
Yeah.
I know that one. It does look a little interesting when you look at it at first, because it's not like some of the fruits, like you said, it looks different. But it tastes amazing. Yeah, because I remember when she first gave it to me, I'm like, that was probably like 3 years ago, something like that now.
4 years.
Yeah, maybe 4. Yeah, it's been a while, and yeah, she gave it to me, and she's like, try this, and I was like, what is this? Because like you're looking at it, and I'm like, whatever, try it, and it was hands down amazing. And then obviously lupias are amazing. So if you book a party and you email her and get to that,
and
you will never regret having Cumisha cook food for you, because it's one of our spoiled amenities when she actually gets up there and she cooks, because it takes a lot for her to cook.
Oh yeah.
So,
and you'll see me rolling them like this last tea party. I had to get used to the stove again. There's one burner, so I picked the burner that wasn't burning properly. I should have taken the one on the right. It took forever. I'm not going to use that burner anymore.
Yeah, it was a little long.
Yeah, that burner. Oh, it sucked.
Well, besides cooking though, now I really want food. And I just had lunch too, and I'm like, oh man.
Because a lot of people, there isn't any Filipino food here around Carson City or even Reno. I don't think there's Hawaiian food and other ones, but I don't think there's a really good Filipino restaurant. Although there's a big Asian market in Reno.
Yeah,
we have a little one here, but I make use of that little one.
Definitely.
I'll buy like 8 boxes of the lumpia wrappers. The best ones are in a blue box, and and they have the wax paper that separates them. And they're thin, very thin. I mean, they're different from wonton wrap, because wonton wrappers are very doughy.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't want. You can. I have used it. That's the one that's on the YouTube channel because I ran out of lumpy wrappers, so I replaced it with wonton wrapper. You can use wonton wrappers if you want, but it's not the same.
Cooking with Cumisha.
Yeah.
The whole beginning of the show just became Cumisha explaining how to cook.
I know. But then there's the other Cumisha that likes to do parties, depending on what kind of parties you want.
Yeah, that's
Whether
true.
it's couples, because I have this couple that's from the Bay Area, and they're my regulars, and they're really nice. And she was always curious, but her husband always was looking for the right lady. They wanted somebody that's about their age group, since they wanted a mature person. So at first they went to the Bunny, and they partied with a younger girl, but it didn't work out after a while. Then they picked me out of lineup, and then I talked to them, and then we booked the party. She was nervous. She was very nervous. I focused on her first. She's never been with another woman before. She's never kissed another woman. I massaged. I said, okay, let's all get in the jacuzzi first. Let's do a jacuzzi bubble bath first. So that she loved it, and then we showered off in that big shower together.
Oh yeah.
Then go on the bed, and I focused on her. So I started giving her a massage. Her husband wanted her to be happy, so I made sure gave her a massage. We kissed and everything, and then you can imagine what else went on. I showed her my toys: strap-on, double-headed dildo, electric therapy, because she had arthritis. So I said, I can help with your arthritis. So I gave her a massage first, but then I stimulated her areas where she had the arthritis, and everything just fell into place. Yeah. And they rebooked and extended the party.
That's all that matters. As long as everyone's happy, and obviously they're your regulars, because they do
We've
come
already
back.
had like 8 or 9 parties already.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do get a lot of regulars, especially people that are handicapped or disabled or in wheelchairs, because a lot of girls don't want to deal with transferring them from a wheelchair to the bed.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a client that we gave classes together, and he wanted to come in and let them know that you wouldn't know that I'm actually legally blind, would you? But he can see shadows.
Oh, okay.
And there's certain things that he wanted to discuss with the girls about his feet, that his certain areas are really very sensitive, and there's a certain way of turning him, and
Yeah.
partying with him. And that's where the whoopee cushions come in.
I'm not sure if I really want to ask, but I kind of do. What are these whoopee cushions?
Well, because of his handicap and his disability, he likes to be on his he likes the whoopee cushions on his belly.
Okay.
And so he likes to go. It makes a big whoopee noise.
Yeah.
So he likes to be rocked back and forth while the whoopee cushions is letting
The regular whoopee cushions you get like at Walmart, Target, like those kind of things.
He sends me the whoopee cushions. So.
And they're the ones that say whoopee cushion across
They're
it.
pink. They're in the
Yeah, the ones that you put under pillows and
Yeah.
that people sit on and makes the weird fart. Okay.
He likes that.
And he
Gets off.
rocks back and forth and okay.
feels
I
that's how he gets off
Okay.
on the whoopee cushions. Different, right?
That,
But everybody.
I mean, everyone's different. And I'm not judging by any means. That I was just trying to think of like on top of the whoopee. I mean it would make sense. I mean it's still like a pillow thing, and you're like a balloon.
I don't know if
and you're
it's the
kind of moving
noise
around.
or the noise or the sound, and him laying on and feeling the balloon kind of deflating and making all those noises. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you've traveled a lot. You've done a lot of things.
Oh,
Where I know you've traveled tons of places, and you used to own a few different things and used to work in a different industry. Well, obviously, went over registered nurse. What else, have you done though?
Okay, so
For
I have
people
my
don't
own
know you.
production company before, and I've done adult films. I've done over 300 of them, and then I've also produced. But then there is one that was a documentary that I was working on when I was in Bangkok, when I was in Thailand for
Okay.
a month. But I stayed in this beachy community called Pattaya. It's like a beach kind of a city. It's right on the beach, on the water, which is an hour away from Bangkok. But where we actually filmed the movie was in Bangkok. But there was a lot of ladyboys in Pattaya also. But it was in Bangkok that we filmed most of the documentary, which we had to stop halfway through because my partner, my ex-boss, was mugged by a ladyboy in the process. It was the ladyboy's birthday. They went out, and then I got a call from the hospital saying that, he was mugged and he's in the hospital. And
Oh, Jesus. And the documentary was about ladyboys? Okay.
Ladyboys of Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah, so you never know. Maybe we'll finish it someday. But the ladyboys in Thailand are so beautiful. They have the best plastic surgeon there because, Thailand, Bangkok is a third world country. And so they make their money on their looks, especially the ladyboys. It's very popular because a lot of the guys come from all around the world.
Yeah.
And they want to meet these ladyboys. Yeah, and they're beautiful. I mean, they look like they're, very, female this way, very beautiful. And then down here, they still have, it's still working,
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they get turned on by that, including my ex-boss, I mean, I said that, yes, they are very beautiful. And the one, I think that particular ladyboy got jealous of me. He got jealous of me that I was there with him.
Oh.
And because,
Okay.
he's Swiss, blonde hair, blue eyes, and here I am, an Asian girl,
Yeah.
And so I think the ladyboy got jealous of me. And I think that was an inside job, too, because the ladyboy was also a masseuse. And he came over to his room.
Oh. Okay.
My room was right next to my ex-boss's room. And then I go, that was weird because, I was wondering what happened and everything. I met all the ladyboys. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
So that was sad. Okay, so then after that, I was stuck. I'm going, oh my God, I'm in a foreign country all by myself with all these ladyboys. Okay, then I started looking at my contacts. Okay, who would be in Thailand right now? So I called up one of my other ex-bosses. So I called him up. I go, are you here? Are you here in Bangkok? Or are you in San Francisco? He goes, no, I'm here. I go, okay. Then I told him the story, what happened.
Yeah.
And that. He goes, well, come over. I'll have my girlfriend come and pick you up, and then you can come over and we can talk about it. And his girlfriend owns a hair salon. She
Okay.
has her own business in Thailand, and it's right in the heart. So I hung out with her and her friends for the and my ex, boss for another ex-boss. I know all my ex-bosses. For the couple of weeks that I was there. So I learned about the food, the culture, all the ladyboys, all the temples. I would go back again. I made new friends. Yeah, I'll go back there again.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the pictures because I remember you've shown those pictures to me a few times, and it's such a beautiful place because I've really wanted to see it too. So
You guys
one of
gotta
these days.
ride those tuk-tuks, when you go there.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have any rules. When you're like on a vehicle or a motorcycle or whatever, you take your life into your hands, or whoever's driving you around.
Jeez.
But, oh my God, I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna be buried. It's like, that show, what's that show? The one about the the Confessions of a Taxi Driver.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was in one of those cabs. The lady, she said, she goes, my cab is all wired up, for, to be videoed and everything. I said, I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to relax. And this was like right during 9/11.
Oh, God. Okay.
I was supposed to be on that United flight going from New York to LAX. It hit one of the buildings. Anyway, one of my friends called me. They said, Cumisha, are you okay? I go, why? Turn on the TV. So I said, oh my God. If it wasn't for Howard Stern, I wouldn't be, alive today. I would have been one of those, disasters, and that hit one of the United flight that was going from, New York to LAX.
Jeez.
And I went there. Ground zero, when I was going through the tunnel there. I remember the buildings, the metal was all melted. The buildings were all boarded up next to each other. The ground was still smoking, and you can smell. Oh my God, it was a horrible smell. Ooh. That's what I remembered about going through the tunnel after, the planes hit that. I mean, it was like dead. All of Manhattan, it was silence. It was like a different world, There was like emptiness around the streets. It was everybody was like in shock. And then I remembered when they had the parade for the firemen, they blocked off all the different streets.
Yeah.
So that was an experience. So
I
yes,
bet. Jeez.
I was there. That was a horrific experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
About it. And then I went there again, and then there was the Puerto Rican parade. That's another sight to experience. I mean, I didn't know there were so many Puerto Ricans in New York.
I mean, yeah.
In Manhattan. I know. I'm crying. Well, every time when I
Yeah.
sometimes I kind of get tearful. So, yeah.
Well, let's switch gears a little
Okay.
bit. Was not expecting the last one.
Well, you never know with me,
No, I don't.
Kind of come out of my mouth all of a sudden.
And that's why I do, like, everything we do here is not scripted. So I don't usually tell everyone all the questions we're going to ask, just because I want to make sure, we have a lot of fun in the banter with it.
Oh, yeah.
Which I knew with you, it's going to be
You never
great.
know.
It's always going to be a great time.
Yeah, you never know. Especially the swinger parties. Oh, here's another thing.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so when I was still working, as a registered nurse, the medical transcriptionist at the hospital asked me she invited me to her son's 21st birthday party. So little did I know that she held like swinger parties every third Saturday of the month. And so then she introduced me to her son. And then 2 weeks later, we lived together and hosted her parties. But then after 5 years, it was more like a family affair, which I'll explain. So I was in a situation, it just happened this way. We're like in a daisy wheel kind of thing. So we were like doing each other. I mean, I was doing like, there's the mother, there's the father's girlfriend, the mother's boyfriend, his brother, and the brother's girlfriend. So it was like a family affair. So we're all doing each other, not each family member, but each other's, other half.
Okay.
So it was like a family affair.
Okay.
That was different because I said to him, how did you grow up living in a family of swingers, your mother and your father? I mean, you have to keep it silent because all the little kids are not going to come over to your house if they know that your mother and father gave swinger parties and everything.
Yeah.
So they kept it hush-hush. And then when he turned 16, then he was like parking the cars and stuff, being like a valet. But it wasn't until he was like 18 that he got involved hosting the parties. So he wasn't involved. He just kind of knew about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us, what kind of how did you end up here? Like,
Okay,
obviously,
I was
a little different.
curious. Dennis, I met Dennis Hoff like in the early 90s when I was,
Okay.
filming, doing a lot of, adult films, porn, everything. I met him at AVN, and he was with the girls, the blondes, And so he goes, "Oh, you should come and work with me. You should come and work."
Mhm.
I said, "Well, Dennis, I still have a lot of things to reconsider right now. Maybe later on, after I've done everything, I'll come to work with you."
Yeah.
And I was always curious and everything. So then finally I said, "Okay, I'm going to give it a shot." So I came and I started working down at Alien Cat House down south when Dennis
Okay.
still owned it.
Yeah.
And didn't know anything that I know now. I wish, I mean, I had to learn everything, by myself. I mean, yeah, I had a big sister, but she didn't teach me all the techie stuff that I know now. I'm constantly on the
Oh, yeah.
message board, Twitter, social media. I mean, I wish, somebody taught me all of that way back then, but this was like 9 years ago. 9 years is a long time
Yeah.
to stay in this business because I've seen girls come and go, and I've seen a lot of different kinds of parties. Like,
I mean, pretty much just a come and go, right? Just a come and go.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I had to. There you go.
Well, at Alien Cat House, I kept getting these emails. They said, "I'm in the wrong house." Yeah, this is the only theme house in the United States, theme brothel in the United
Yep.
States, all about aliens. So we had alien like figures all throughout, and there are some weird stuff that goes on in the desert there, with all the military, having all their hush hush kind of things
Yeah.
that I've seen and got in trouble for, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Good call.
Yeah. Yeah, so then finally, I forwarded all my emails to Madame Suzette saying, these are all the, clients that want me to come up here. And so finally she calls up. She goes, "When can you come over? How fast can you?" I go, "Can you come tomorrow?" I go, "Well, let me check my schedule. Let me check the flights and everything." 2 hours later, I said, "I'm coming over," because it's Wednesday. Wednesday's when we daughter.
Yep.
She wants to make sure that I get to the airport early, make sure by 11, because daughter's like around 12:30. And I was put here at Sagebrush. So then I was at Sagebrush for a year. Then I went to Thailand in January, beginning of January. Then I
Yeah.
started here afterwards. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So then I bought everybody silk scarves and stuff.
So, tell me, because we're running into a little bit towards the end here, but I really want to get into something here. Tell me about like one of your wildest, because I mean I know you have some wild parties
Okay.
and wild stories.
Okay, so
but tell me about that kind of moment.
Okay.
Like something that you might shock or not.
Okay, my
Don't
wildest
really shock me.
parties. My wildest party is Bad Baby Good Mommy. So there was a client that came in. He picked me out in lineup, and he goes, "Do you do like baby parties?" I go, "What kind of baby parties?" He goes, "Like Bad Baby Good Mommy," and he was a big guy. He was like over 300 pounds. I go, "So what kind of activities do you want me to what kind of activities would you like to do together?" He goes, "Well, I have everything in the car. I'm going to bring them." So I go, "Okay." So he brought his duffel bag and it had adult diapers, Pampers. It has his rubber ducky. It has Mr. Bubbles. It has Gerber baby food,
Okay.
and it has his pacifier. And he had to be, his whole, role play is being a baby. So
Okay.
put his, his feet together as a
Mhm.
baby. And when I took him to do the Mr. Bubbles, the bubble bath and everything, he would like splash all over me, and I'm going, bad baby, and then he would take the rubber ducky, throw it at me, and I'm going, bad baby, and then, okay, I'm going to dry you up, and then we're going to the bed. But I had bubbles. I got bubbles all over my hair, everything. I mean, he was a bad baby. He didn't want to listen to me. When I gave him his Gerber baby food, he would spit it up. And then changing his diapers, I go, you better not be doing number 2 on me right now, you know?
Okay.
So when I changed his diapers, he was fine. You know, I powdered him with baby powder and everything, and make sure that the adult diapers were on him and everything. When I burped him, I would put him over my legs, and I would, you know, like this on him and everything. But it was a fun party. The party was over 2 hours.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Over 2 hours, and we ended it with the Pampers, with him just jerking off on the himself with the Pampers on the plastic side.
Okay.
And there was no sex involved. It was all role play.
Wow.
Role play, except for him jerk himself off. That's about it.
Interesting.
And he walked out with the baby, the adult diapers. And when he walked, he had like a squeaky sound. You know, it was squeaking as he was walking down the hallway. Yeah. So that was an interesting party.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
the thing.
Mr. Bubbles, the rubber ducky, and the pacifier. You had to put the pacifier every time he tried to say something, or if he's hungry, or he was trying to, argue with me or whatever.
Well, thank you again, Cumisha, for being here. I appreciate it so very much. Definitely some interesting.
There's more stories, but come in and see me. I'll cook for you, play the piano. We can go on an out date together. It will be a lot of fun. It'll be something that, especially if you've been missing that intimacy of a companionship with a woman, so whatever it is, I'll fulfill those, fantasies or dreams or desires for you.
Well, how did they get a hold of you, Cumisha?
Oh, so go Cumisha Amado at kitcatranch.com or call the office. I think it's 775-246-9975 extension 0. And you can place a deposit. I also have, a layaway plan where you can call in that number and make a deposit every month until you have enough to party with me. But I would love to make your dreams come true, and we'll have a lot of fun.
Well, it's been a pleasure as always, Cumisha.
Thank you.
So I'll look forward to the Halo Halo.
Oh, yeah,
eventually.
and the lumpias.
And the lumpias.
Adobo, pancetta, whatever, we got. And I'll cook whatever you guys want to cook. I mean, if it's like a standing rib, a pot roast, like a standing rib roast with some twice-baked potatoes, some grilled asparagus, and some mushroom sauteed in like a Merlot gravy sauce or whatever. I can do that too, besides Filipino food.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Watching and listening. Whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and all the rest. I appreciate each and every one of you out there. Again, Season 2 has been amazing so far on the BunnyRanch podcast. So make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you follow us on all social media at BunnyRanch, at Sagebrush Ranch, at KitKat Brothel on Twitter. And then you can also follow me on Twitter as well at James_Extreme, or you'll see all of that stuff on the bottom, as well as for her contact and mine, all in the description. So thank you again, Cumisha, and thank you everyone out there, and have a great day. Bye.